everybody. How are you doing? Just wanted to jump on here and um, play a couple of Lorcana games through Inktable. So Inktable is a website that allows you to play against a computer using some decks. They have the starter decks already loaded in, but you can also go up here and add some new ones that you can get from Dreamborn. You can plug some in if you want to test some things out. Maybe you want to try something spicy and put it together. But basically, my goal here with this channel right now is to just go through, pick a starter deck, play it against another starter deck with the computer, and just sort of break down the decisions I'm making, the plays that I'm making, the reasoning behind why I might mulligan these particular cards, with the hope that new players watching this can at least get an idea of, hey, maybe that's what I need to do, or that's why I keep losing. Because I mean, listen, I'm not by any means a seasoned veteran. I've only been playing for about a month. But I used to play card games like Yu-Gi-Oh and the Pokemon trading card game, and a little bit of Magic, if I'm honest. But just as life often does, just so much going on. I took a step back from the trading card game, but then when I heard about Lorcana, I was intrigued, but I was like, well, I don't know. But I guess ultimately my love of Disney won out, and it's just been really cool to see the cards and to see this lore that they're building and all the different aspects of this card game, and to see the different variations of the heroes. Like Mickey Mouse Detective and all those kinds of things. And so I've just really enjoyed that. But today we're gonna jump in. We are actually gonna start with a starter deck from the first chapter. We're gonna start with Amber Amethyst for my deck, and then we are gonna play against Emerald Ruby as the computer. Now I'm setting the AI difficulty at 0 for right now. Again, this is not me trying to test myself out. Maybe if I keep making these videos, we can do some spicier decks, do some more difficult stuff, do some challenges or whatever. But right now, I just really want to dive in and do some matches against the starter decks, where you guys can watch and see what happens, and just walk through with me. If you are a seasoned player and you're watching this and you are like, man, you're totally all wrong, please give me some helpful criticism. That's one thing that I've loved about the Lorcana community, is the willingness to help each other and to come alongside and say, man, your deck is all over the place and you got to fix it. And so obviously here with these starter decks, they're already, pre-built, so I'm not having to worry about that. But if I'm making bad decisions with my mulligans or whatever, like anything that I can do to help improve my game, I really appreciate it. But for this game, we're going to start with a random starting player, and we'll just see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to go through each card so you can see it pop up there on the screen. We've got the Magic Broom, which is a 2-drop, 2-for-2 quest for 1, and it says sweep. When you play this character, you may shuffle a card from any discard into its player's deck. And then we've also got Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer. This is a 4-drop. He's a 3/4 quest for 2, and he's got 2 flavor texts. It says animate Broom. You pay 1 less ink to play Broom characters, so he works really well with our previous character, the Magic Broom over there. And then also Ceaseless Worker. Whenever one of your Broom characters is banished in a challenge, you may return that card to your hand. So it's really great to pair this Mickey Mouse with those Brooms. We also see, the uninkable 7 Dr. Facilier. He's a shift 5. You may pay 5 ink to play this on top of one of your characters named Dr. Facilier. And his flavor text, into the shadows. Whenever one of your other characters is banished in the challenge, you may return that card to your hand. So you're probably noticing with this Amber Amethyst deck that we're really trying to have characters and doing what's called bouncing. Now in Rise of the Floodborn, oh my goodness, I couldn't think of the word. You've got the Amethyst Steel deck, which does a whole lot of bouncing. especially with Madam Mim. But you're seeing a little bit of bouncing in terms of discard going back to hand. We've got a 1-drop Dinglehopper. You can exert it, and you remove up to 1 damage from a chosen character. That's a great item to have. Keeps your character on the board longer, keeps them alive. We've got a Song. It's a 2-drop. Be Our Guest. A character with cost 2 or more can exert to sing this song for free. And you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So that's good for getting those characters out. We've got Jetsam, Ursula's Spy. Costs 4. It's 3/3. It has Evasive, which means only those characters with Evasive can challenge this character. So that's great if your opponent doesn't have anything that's evasive. You can get this guy out there and you can do some questing and not have to worry about it. And he pairs well with Flotsam. Flotsam and Jetsam are Ursula's eel sidekicks. And if you have a Flotsam on the board with this Jetsam, that Flotsam will also gain evasive. And that Flotsam, if we come around to him, we'll see that he also partners well with Jetsam and shares abilities with him as well. And then finally, our last card in the hand is a 4-ink Jafar, Wicked Sorcerer, 2/5, Challenger +3. So when he is challenging, not when he is challenged, but when you are choosing to challenge an opponent, then he gets +3. So that gives him +3 strength, which would make him a 5/5, which can do some damage. So now, at this point, we are trying to figure out which cards we want to mulligan. And what we mean when we say mulligan is get rid of in order to get some better cards. So as much as I love Dr. Facilier, with it being a 7 uninkable, he is going to be mulligan because we're not going to be able to use him for quite a number of turns, and we need some things that we can get on the board. We need some 2-drop characters, some things that can do some damage. We're also going to get rid of the Jafar. With him being a 4-drop, he is still a little bit too expensive at this point. We're going to keep the Jetsam, keep the Be Our Guest. We might actually be able to sing that. We've got a 2-drop Magic Broom. We've got the Dinglehopper, which we can play on turn 1. And then the 4 Mickey Mouse. We might actually ink that Jetsam. All right, well, we are just going to do those 2 for now and see what we get. Okay, so we have New Dog, which is our 1-drop Stitch, which is perfect. And then we've got a 4 Cinderella. She's 2/5, Singer 5, which means she can sing songs up to 5, and she quests for 2. And you can exert her to remove up to 3 damage from a chosen princess character. So that is a good card there. I think what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and ink Jetsam. We're going to ink not really hurting for characters. All right, we're going to ink Be Our Guest, and then we're going to play Stitch New Dog. Gives us a character out on the first turn, so we're already putting pressure on the opponent. They've got to have an answer, which they do. They've got their Sergeant Tibbs, which is the Ruby version of Stitch in the sense that they are both 1-drops. They both quest for 1, 2/2. So we've got a 3-drop Magic Wardrobe. All right, this time we are going to go ahead and ink that Jetsam so that we can play we're going to go ahead and play, even though we don't have anything in the discard. That's fine. And we're just going to go ahead and quest with Stitch. Now, you don't have to quest with Stitch. You can just continue to leave him ready. That way, he is not vulnerable for attack. With Sergeant Tibbs, it would be a trade, and if the opponent chooses to trade, then they lose their Sergeant Tibbs and we lose our Stitch, but we did gain 1 lore. And that way we are sort of, again, we are setting the pace, keeping the tempo. Oh, okay. So he gave Sergeant Tibbs a sword. Oh man, he's got another Sergeant Tibbs. That was an interesting play. Again, this is AI. It's the computer, so it doesn't always make the best moves. He should not have played that. He's got a sword because he didn't make use of it. Sergeant Tibbs didn't attack into my stitch, didn't do anything with it, so it was just a waste. But that's something that the computer will do just because they, it's a computer. It doesn't always, it just think, oh, it's a card I can play, so I'm going to play it. All right, we're going to ink the Olaf this turn. So that way we can play the Magic Wardrobe. We want to be staying on curve. And what that means is you want to be inking, especially the first couple of rounds, as much as you can, and then playing these characters that you've got. And so here, see, I'm tempted to challenge this Sergeant Tibbs because we don't want them getting away with too many characters on the board. And we've got another Magic Broom that we can quest with. Now, if the Sergeant Tibbs comes into the Magic Broom, that's less than ideal because we would be trying to get that Mickey on. Okay, he just quested. We're trying to get that Mickey on the board, which then helps us. That Hakuna Matata is nice, but we do not need it at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and ink it. But we are going to play Mickey Wayward Sorcerer. Now, basically, these brooms are free to go and do. Neither of these are really endangering my wardrobe, so we're going to go ahead and quest there as well. Get some more lore, and then we will pass to the other player. All right, so another Megara. Okay, so with that Megara being played, it was enough to give their other Megara enough to take out the wardrobe, which is okay. That's how it goes. A Duke of Wesselton there on the field. All right, so we've got a 2-drop mini. I think what I'm going to do is ink the mini, play the Cinderella, and then go ahead and play that Dinglehopper as well. That way we can work on removing some damage if we need to. Okay, so with the dude, there's still none of these characters are really posing a threat. If they take out the broom, because we have Wayward Sorcerer, it'll just go back to our hand. So it's good enough to go ahead and quest. I like, even in this kind of deck, I like to be aggro. I like to go after those lore points. Now, should I have maybe left Mickey ready? Possibly. But again, I'm not super worried just because of the fact that I don't know that they've got anything that can really take me down. All right, so here is an interesting play. I think we're just going to pay the ink because we might as well quest with that. But they have an evasive Peter Pan with 3/2, so I can't touch that Peter Pan. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to challenge that Duke of Wesselton with the brooms. We've got to stop their questing. We're going to return it to our hand. We're going to play the brooms again. Yes. And we are going to put Stitch the New Dog back into our deck. And then we're going to play Be Our Guest, which allows us. All right, so we have got Mickey Mouse, which is costs 3 ink, has 3/3, and it quests for 2. Rafiki is uninkable at 3, but it has Rush, which means that the turn that you play, you can challenge. We've got that 7 Dr. Facilier, which once he's on the board, it becomes a huge game changer. And then we've got a 1 Pascal who is evasive, but only if you have others on the board. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to pick that Dr. Facilier, put him in my hand, and then just accept those like that. And then I honestly think I'm going to quest with both of these. I'm not worried. We've got the Dingle Hopper. So if we needed to remove some damage, we could. And then we're going to pass. So he played Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot. 3/4 vanilla, nothing much to it. Okay, there we go. We've got this Jafar, which I don't need more strength, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the Jafar, because then we will be that much closer to getting that Dr. Facilia. We are going to challenge, excuse me. We're going to challenge Megara with Cinderella. And then we are going to use this to remove 1 from Cinderella. And then we are going to quest with the Mickey Mouse. And then challenge into that Sergeant Tibbs with our brooms. And then we will return the broom. And then we will play it again. Put it out there so that on the next turn we can... Oh yes, let's put something back in. Let's put Be Our Guest back in. Shuffle that up. All right, so we're turning on him. So now we are not quite running away from it. Oh, he has got a 5/3 scar. That is going to eat at my Cinderella on the next turn. Okay, so we've got this. I think I'm going to ink that Mickey Mouse so that we can pull out this Dr. Facilier. Because any card that gets banished in a challenge can go back to our hand. So we can get these cards back. So we are going to challenge. Might as well go ahead and finish off this Mickey Mouse. Trade it with the Cinderella. It's already been damaged. Cinderella is going to return to our hand for the next turn. So that is great. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and quest just with the brooms. I'm not going to quest with Mickey Mouse this turn because of that scar coming in and being able to take it down pretty handedly. Well, I say that, but then get 2 lore and then I can pull them both back out. I'm going to do it. Why not? You got to risk it to win the biscuit. Don't say that. But yes, we will very likely see Scar. Oh, I just took down the magic brooms. That was an interesting change. Again, this is the computer. I probably, had it been a real person, would have seen Scar go after the Mickey Mouse because that's the bigger target. And cause, gives 2 ink. It's more powerful. It has a better play. So I've already got it. So doesn't matter. I'll just go ahead and ink the brooms so that I can play Cinderella and play Jafar. Perfect. And then we will quest with Mickey Mouse, taking us up to 18, and then quest again with Dr. Facilier to get us to 21 and end the game. So this was just a brief intro into sort of the dynamics of the decks, just giving you guys a chance to see how I play, what my motivation is, some strategies that I have, and getting behind the lens a little bit and just sort of seeing. If you like it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you've got any specific requests of decks that you want. Lemon Lime, Blue Steel, Blurple. I'm happy to, like I said, you can go on Dreamborn, you can create them and then just load them up into it. I'm happy to set some things up, but I just wanted to sort of take some time and just create a couple of videos to show what Lorcana is, and just do some matches here. But yeah, hope you enjoy the video and look forward to seeing you guys later.